This is a basement utility area. Running along the ceiling, there are two pipes, one cold, one hot, carrying water from the water heater to the rest of the house. The cold pipe sits at room temperature. The hot pipe is radiating heat into the air around it right now, every hour of every day, whether anyone in the house is running hot water or not. That heat has to be replaced by the water heater, constantly cycling back on to maintain the temperature in the line. One foam sleeve, $5 at any hardware store, stops that heat loss completely. I'm going to show you exactly how much energy bare pipes waste, exactly where to find the worst offenders in your home, and exactly how to insulate them in about 20 minutes with no tools at all. Here is what is actually happening inside your walls and utility spaces right now. Your water heater raises cold water to a set temperature, typically somewhere between 120 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And then that hot water sits in the pipes, waiting until a tap is opened somewhere in the house. While it waits, it is losing heat to the surrounding air through a process called standby conductive loss. The rate of that loss depends on two things: the temperature difference between the pipe and the air around it, and the insulating properties of whatever material surrounds the pipe. Bare copper or steel pipe has almost no insulating value at all. Heat moves through metal extremely efficiently, which is exactly what makes metal a good material for conducting water, but a poor material for containing thermal energy. A bare copper pipe carrying 120-degree water through a 60-degree basement is essentially a long, thin radiator, broadcasting heat into a space where that heat serves no useful purpose at all. The first place this matters is in unheated spaces: the basement, the garage, the crawl space, and any utility room that is not actively conditioned. In these spaces, the temperature gap between the pipe and the surrounding air is at its largest, which means heat loss happens at its fastest rate. A hot water pipe running 15 feet through an unheated basement can lose enough heat in a single day that the water heater has to run an additional cycle just to compensate for the loss in that one section of pipe, before anyone in the house has used a single drop of hot water. The second place this matters is in the first meter or two of pipe directly exiting the water heater. This section experiences the highest water temperature in the entire system, and therefore the highest rate of heat loss. It is also the section most consistently left bare in most residential installations, because installers focus on connecting the system rather than optimizing its thermal efficiency. Pipe insulation foam, a simple pre-slit foam tube designed to slip over standard pipe diameters, addresses this directly. Foam has very low thermal conductivity, meaning heat moves through it slowly rather than quickly. A half-inch foam sleeve over a hot water pipe reduces surface heat loss from that pipe by 70 to 80% compared to bare pipe, regardless of the pipe's temperature or the ambient temperature around it. The water arriving at the tap is hotter. The water heater cycles on less frequently to compensate for standby losses, and the energy bill reflects both improvements continuously from the day the insulation is installed. There is a secondary benefit as well. Insulated pipes deliver hot water to the tap faster because the water sitting in the line has not cooled as much while waiting. This means less time running the tap before hot water arrives, and less water wasted down the drain in the process, across every sink and shower in the home. Pipe insulation almost never comes up during water heater installation or a standard plumbing visit. Connecting the system and confirming it runs is considered a complete job, and adding insulation is a separate step the homeowner would have to initiate on their own. Most homeowners never look at their pipes from the perspective of heat loss. The pipes function without any obvious problem, and there is no visible signal anything is wrong. Heat radiating off a bare pipe is invisible. It shows up only on the energy bill, gradually, mixed in with everything else, impossible to attribute to a single cause without knowing to look for it. Every year pipes remain uninsulated is another year of avoidable cost. For a home with a long, uninsulated run, through an unheated space, the cumulative loss over a decade adds up to hundreds of dollars, spread invisibly across monthly bills that never spike enough to prompt a closer look. Energy efficiency guidance consistently lists hot water pipe insulation among the highest return on investment home improvements available, with payback periods measured in weeks to a few months rather than years. Independent testing has confirmed reductions in pipe surface heat loss of 70 to 80% when comparing bare pipe to standard foam sleeves, with the largest savings on longer runs through spaces where ambient temperature drops well below the pipe temperature. Home improvement communities rank pipe insulation among the easiest overlooked efficiency upgrades, with members noting a noticeable drop in water heater cycling frequency within the first week after insulating the main pipe run. Here is exactly what you need and exactly what to do. What you need: foam pipe insulation sleeves, available at any hardware or home store for about $1 per 6-foot section. These are pre-slit along one side so they snap over the pipe without any cutting tools. Measure the diameter of your hot water pipes before buying. Most residential systems use either half-inch or 3/4-inch pipe, and the insulation sleeve needs to match the pipe diameter to fit correctly. A roll of simple duct tape or foam tape to seal the seams and joints. Scissors if you need to cut sleeves to length. Total cost for a typical basement run of 10 to 15 feet is about $5. Step 1. Identify the pipes that matter most. Start in the utility area where your water heater is located. The pipe or pipes exiting the top of the water heater and running toward the rest of the house are the highest priority. They carry the hottest water in the system and are in an unheated space for the first section of their run in most homes. Trace them as far as you can see and note which sections are bare. Step 2. Measure the pipe diameter. Use a flexible tape measure or a piece of string wrapped around the pipe to determine its circumference, then divide by 3.14 to get the diameter. Alternatively, the pipe diameter is often stamped directly onto the pipe fitting near the water heater connection. Match this measurement to the correct insulation sleeve size before purchasing. Step 3. Start at the water heater connection. Begin insulating as close to the water heater outlet as possible, ideally within 2 inches of the connection point. This is the highest temperature section of the pipe and the highest priority area for insulation. Simply open the pre-slit sleeve along its length, snap it around the pipe, and press the slit closed. Step 4. Work along the pipe run. Continue adding sleeves along the full length of accessible hot water pipe, butting each sleeve end tightly against the previous one to avoid gaps. Where the pipe turns a corner, cut the sleeve at a 45-degree angle on each side so the two pieces meet cleanly around the bend. Step 5. Seal all seams and joints with tape. Run duct tape along the full length of each sleeve's slit and at every joint where two sleeves meet. An unsealed gap allows warm air to reach the pipe and partially defeats the insulation, so this step is quick but important. Step 6. Insulate the cold water inlet pipe as well. The cold pipe entering the water heater is also worth insulating. In humid utility areas, cold pipes accumulate condensation during warmer months, contributing to moisture issues over time. A foam sleeve on the cold inlet addresses this at the same time and costs about $1 more. Step 7. Check for additional pipe runs. Walk through any other unheated spaces, a garage, crawl space, or exterior utility room. Any accessible hot water pipe in these areas benefits from the same treatment. The total investment for a typical home rarely exceeds $10 to $15, and the improvement works from the moment the last sleeve is in place. Those pipes have been losing heat into your basement or utility space since the day your water heater was installed. The loss is invisible, gradual, and mixed into a utility bill that gives no indication of where the extra cost is coming from. A foam sleeve that costs $1 and takes 2 minutes to install stops that loss completely from the moment it goes on. Doing the full run of accessible pipe in a typical home takes about 20 minutes and costs about $5 in materials. The savings start the same day. Now you know exactly where to look and exactly what to do about it.